welcome back to the channel. And I figured I'm going to do another review today. And the reason being is, with all this talk of like Toxic Avenger, of the remake, and not only that, the Toxic Crusaders game that's coming out, Toxie's coming back in a really big way. And so as a Troma fan, a diehard Troma fan, I am very happy just to see Toxie back. I'm not really too excited about the remake, as you've seen from my update and things, but I'm still going to see it because it's Toxie. And I just want to see Kevin Bacon playing a villain, like in that movie Super. I believe that was James Gunn, but yeah. Either way, the one with Rainn Wilson. He's like, "Shut up, crime!" I love that movie. I love Super, but we're not talking about that. We'll save that for. We're going to talk about my personal favorite Toxic Avenger remake not remake, sorry. I'm already excited. Toxic Avenger sequel of all time. My favorite Toxic Avenger sequel. Toxic Avenger 3. The Last Temptation of Toxie. And this is a movie I adore. Like, if I had, I always love the first one, but if I had to pick a favorite, sequel in the Toxic Avenger franchise, this is it. Part-3. And basically, you can't go wrong. This movie has everything. It's got action. It's got a little bit of, gore. It's got, a good story. It's just, everything you'd want. Not only that, but it's, has one of the greatest openings ever from a movie, in my opinion. And that would be the video store run by the Jewish guys. And, everybody's in there, all of Tromaville's in the video store, and they're you got that one guy, I swear, he cracks me up. He's like, "I can't make up my mind. I can't make up my mind." And he's on the movies. And then before you know it, can't be a Troma movie without some sort of punks, causing havoc. And these punks basically come into the video store, and they basically wreak havoc on the Tromaville citizens as usual. And so they're like, "What are we going to do? What are we going to do?" And then before you know it, Toxie comes in. And he hides behind a cardboard cutout. It's so hilarious. It's basically a Tromaville video store run by a Jewish, these Jewish guys. It's really cool. But yeah, it's just really fun scene. And then Toxie ends up taking one of the punks, which is one of my favorite kills in the movie. And he takes his hands and sticks it in the VHS and rewinds it. And it shows up on the screen. It's all gory and it's grinded. And it's just everything you want from a Troma movie. It's kind of like a video store massacre or something like that. It's "Hey, do you have Video Store Massacre?" It's let me check. "We have video violence and video violence too." It's fine, I'll take it. One Video Store Massacre. So I just thought that was fun. But anyway, Toxie, he basically he fights these punks. He, kicks their butt and saves the day as usual. And they go on. And basically, as that happens, Toxie starts feeling really depressed, and he's like, "Man, Claire, I don't know what I'm gonna do," and he's really down in the dumps and depressed, and I think he tries to kill himself a couple times. But then, Claire wants to see again or something, so he has to earn money to get Claire an eye transplant. So Toxie ends up going and trying to seek new jobs. He starts out as a door-to-door salesman, and then that doesn't work out. Then he finds there's these people called Apocalypse Incorporated. But Toxie doesn't know they're bad. He thinks it's it's a new job. And it's run by a chairman, this evil chairman. And basically Toxie gets hired. And then he thinks it's a new job. So in a sense, Toxie sort of sells out. But little does he know, the chairman is Satan. you know, like the SNL skit, something like that. Anyway, basically, the chairman is Satan, and basically all of Apocalypse Incorporated, once they get a hold of Toxie and hire him, and Toxie sells out, like, that's when they, like, pillage Tromaville and, like, wreak havoc on the Tromaville citizens. And Toxie's kind of blind at it at first, because he's, like I said, he's trying to get that money for Claire's eye transplant. And so, you know, she actually ends up getting her eye transplant, and Claire, his blind girlfriend, can see again. And the first person she sees is the doctor, and this is hilarious. She sees the doctor and she screams, and because Toxie's worried he's going to be hideous to her, but like when she sees the doctor, she screams. He's like, "No, Claire, Melvin's over there." And then the camera cuts to Melvin, and you know, her eyes light up, and you know she's not terrified of actually seeing what, you know, Melvin actually looks like, a hideously formed creature of superhuman size and strength. She actually is in love with him still. And isn't that what all love is truly about? You know, that's what love is about. You know, loving someone for who they are, and not judging them for the way they look, just loving them for them. And that's where Claire and Melvin hit it off. So, and that's really that's a Kodak moment. That's just like this heartfelt moment where, you know, I just love that. There's little things like that. So as it goes on, the film goes on, Toxie starts realizing the chairman's actually Satan, and like he has to, like, you know, do what the sumos taught him, and he has to, like, put a stop to it. So he goes and he basically, like, he's going to save the citizens of Tromaville, the toxic Avenger way. And so as he does this, the evil chairman and Apocalypse Incorporated find out he's turning on them, and he's realizing, yeah, you guys are bad. And so eventually, as the movie goes on, Toxie goes to Apocalypse Incorporated's hideout, and the evil chairman, you know, shows his true form, which is this, like, greenish devil, like, Satan guy. He looks like a dragon beast snarling, and Toxie's being, you know, punching him, you know, showing what's up. So as you see it early in the movie, Toxie plays this game. I forgot what it's called. I think it's like 5 Levels of Doom or something. It's like an arcade. But then, so the chairman, aka Satan, basically, like, turn this, like, it's like a little video game. It's like an homage to what it talks. It's called 5 Levels of Doom, but it's like for reals. And so Toxie has to go through each level, and, you know, he's put to the test. He's tortured a few times, but eventually, one of the levels, he ends up, like, the chairman, Satan or whatever, ends up taking, like, these children of Tromaville children and loading them onto a bus. And meanwhile, there's all these, like, when you watch this, there's all these, like, weird mutated, like, creatures. Like, when I say this, there's, like, a dog man, which is, like, half man, half dog. It's very weird. And then there's, like, a horse lady with, like, this perm or whatever. It's very weird. A lot of mutated weirdos. Like, we see that in the part 2 with, like, the half man, half fish in Japan. But, like, they really started doing it a lot in, like, 3. And I always thought that was kind of cool. Like, man, there's, like, some weird... Never mind. But, so, yeah, I love this movie. So, and the final level, I believe, Toxie has a toxic meltdown. And, like, he just melts. And there's this cool melting sequence. And it's really gory and really effective. But I really like that. That was a really well done, effective, like, melting sequence for Toxie. When he's, like... His traumatons are going crazy and backfiring and just melting because, you know, the chairman's Satan's melting him. But he ends up coming back, and he destroys Satan, and then he wins back the citizens of Tromaville, and it's all good again. And him and Claire go get married at the chapel, and it's happily ever after for now, until Citizen Toxie Avenger Part 4 comes. But yeah, that's pretty much the movie. But I just, like I said, this is my favorite of the sequels. It will always be my favorite. Like, there's like these cool scenes, like there's like the scenes on the back. But yeah, that's always been something cool. And I even got like my Art of Trauma book, and there's like this cool clips from Part 3. I'll show it to you here. Let's see here. So I got this is like the scene at the end when Claire and Toxie get married, and then you got like the part where Satan's on fire. It was pretty cool. Toxie getting pulled into the ground during the 5 levels of doom. You got that one dude that's in the video store that couldn't make up his mind. You got the horse face lady. You know, there's a scene where Toxie sells out. But yeah, this is just like, I really recommend this book. It's put out by Dynamite. A lot of people don't like Dynamite, but this is worth it because, like, you know, it's the art of trauma. Can't go wrong, especially if you're a diehard trauma fan like me. But yeah, that's kind of like the clips from the movie and stuff. But yeah, I actually have a dream. Like I said, when I was a kid, I always like had like this idea, like when the Toxic Crusaders were like really popular in the 90s. What I would do with my toys, like you could check it out my earlier video, the trauma video. It's on my channel. But like I mentioned, there was a time when I was a kid, I would take my Toxic Crusaders toys and I have them join forces with my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh shit, got water on me. I didn't mean to do that, but yeah. So, for instance, one thing I would do is take Toxie and the turtles. He's like, I want you to meet our friend. And his Toxie would be like, oh, who's your friend? His name's well, it's this guy right here, Muck Everlasting, aka Muckman. He's like, hey, Muckman, how are you? He's like, freaking Crane, man. I can't take him, Toxie. Freaking Crane. And he's got that little friend of his. But I always dreamed of him and Toxie meeting up because they're both like mutated, like creatures of superhuman size and strength, I guess. And you know, it's like everything in the 90s was like toxic waste. Like it was like everywhere. Like that was kind of the theme. But as like mutagen and toxic waste. So that would be like a cool crossover. I still think that would be like make like a really cool comic. But the other crossover is actually another one I would like to see happen is like a Toxic Avenger spinoff. And that would be basically Toxic Avenger would get word from the local New Jersey like sheriffs of the forests, and they basically get word that there's like a lot of like beheadings and murders popping up around the New Jersey Pine Barrens, and Toxie has to basically be hired by New Jersey state troopers and get like Tromaville's whoever's in charge mayor wise to like get Toxie on the job to investigate these like beheadings and murders in the Pine Barrens. But little does Toxie know, he's just made a new villain. There's a new villain in town, and his name is the Jersey Devil. And he's like eating all the Tromaville citizens and the New Jersey citizens. I always thought that would be like really awesome as like a spin-off or like some form or another where Toxie has to fight the Jersey Devil. That'd be really cool. I think that would be really effective. But yeah, that's I just think, you know, like I said, I've been traumatized. I love the trauma, like the independent way of telling stories, and that's just kind of like my idea, like for those like the spin-offs. But yeah, that has kind of pretty much been my Toxic Avenger Part 3 review. I just want to talk about it since like Toxie's coming back with like, you know, Toxic Crusaders new game revamp, and of course, you know, the reboot. But yeah, this has just been my review. I hope you all like, subscribe, and kind of share it around. Spread the word on my channel, and I hope you enjoy the review because it's from the heart. And always be a citizen of Tromaville in my heart. So anyway, see you in the next one.